Here is a little holiday DIY to make ornaments or gift toppers using jute. You guys know I'm a jute junkie, so I see these ornaments or gift tags or whatever made out of jute, and they're usually $9 to $12 in stores, so we're just going to make our own. So I grabbed a board, just a random board I had, and I drew some stars. The stars are not perfect. That's okay. We'll make them a little more perfect with the nails. You'll see in a bit. So once I drew those out, and then I mixed together a bottle of Elmer's glue, and I think it was 2 or 3 tablespoons of water. You definitely want more glue than water, but you want a little bit of water just to kind of thin it out a little bit so it can saturate the jute. Once you mix that well, you're just going to saturate that jute, mix it up like I'm doing here. Just make sure everything is really covered. I apologize for the sniffles. I still have terrible allergies. But you want to make sure all of that is covered well. And now we'll take some nails, and basically you're just going to pound nails into the 5 points of each star. I did kind of go away from like my non-perfect stars just to make them a little more centered or better looking. I don't know the word I'm looking for. Then I'm going to take my jute, and you're going to kind of wring it out. You're going to pull it with one set of fingers, and with your other hand, you're going to squeeze and push down and just get excess glue and excess water out of that jute. And then wax paper, you're going to throw that down. You don't want them to adhere to the board. So I threw some wax paper down and just pierced the nails through. And then with that wrung out jute, we're just going to make stars just as if you would draw them. And we're going to go around each one of the nails. And then when you snip it, that end, you can just kind of twist into the rest of the jute. Just kind of wrap it around and then press down. And you're going to want to press down on each one of those nail bases as well. Make sure everything's kind of smushed together. And it's very important that you do push those down too. Otherwise, the jute's not going to all stick together. Wringing it out is important as well. You won't get as long a dry time. It'll dry quicker. It's still going to take a couple hours, but if it's completely saturated and you don't wring it out, it could literally take days to dry. And number 2, if you don't wring it out, the jute will actually dry white. If that's the look you want, that's great. I would just still recommend wringing it out because you can always add some white paint to it, which is actually what I do to one of these. We're going to snip, and then we're going to tuck it. And then we're going to set it aside and let it dry for a couple hours. Yesterday was extremely windy, so I set it out there to dry. And it did. It took a couple hours, but once they were dry, I'm pushing in the nails inward, taking my hammer. And then this will allow the jute to kind of pull up over those nails without getting snagged. And then you just very gently, carefully peel them from the wax paper. And we're going to set that aside. So now that those are dry, we're going to give them some fill, so to speak. Some volume, some dimension. We are going to take more of that jute twine that we have. You can always saturate some more too in the glue. But I'm going to take that, and again, I'm going to wring out the pieces, and then we're just going to wrap it around the star. You can go around the 5 points, you can go around the middle, wherever you want. You can use as much or as little as you as you want to. And the same thing, once you put the amount of jute on there that you want to, you just snip it and tuck it. Just like that, and then we'll let it dry. If you do choose to use glitter, I've seen some with the light snowy kind of glitter. I'm going to add that here, and I'm going to add it before it dries. It'll stick to that wet jute. And we'll set them aside and dry, and then here are some stills. So you can leave them plain like this one, where it's just the jute color, very neutral. You can paint them with different colors. This one I actually added a bell to, hanging it from the bottom. This one I did some white and some raspberry color. And then you can put berries, you can put, you know, different accent pieces or foliage on them, whatever your heart desires. And these are great for ornaments as well as gift toppers. So here I have a couple pics of what they look like on top of gifts, which people in turn can then use as gift toppers for themselves or ornaments. But just a fun project to save you some bucks. And they look really nice too. Have a great day, guys.